Robert Sabatini was nominated by the Northern California chapter for his 30 years of exceptional design work in campus planning, first as a principal at Sasaki Associates and now as a sole practitioner. His national success is evident in his award-winning work at the University of California, Berkeley, California State University, Monterey Bay, Lewis and Clark College, and Mills College. In addition to his design work, he's long been active in his local ASLA chapter. Robert earned his Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Design Landscape Architecture from the University of California, Berkeley in 1972, and his Master of Landscape Architecture in Urban Design and a Master of City and Regional Planning at the Harvard University Graduate School of Design, both in 1978. Jaypee Shadley was nominated by the Boston chapter in recognition of more than 25 years of exceptional contributions to the built environment and the profession. His extensive portfolio includes award-winning works that vary in scale and project type from historic properties to brownfield, mixed-use transit-oriented developments, and from low-income housing to significant residential estates and beautiful sculptures in the landscape. As a dedicated member of the BSLA since 1992, he served in many roles, including chapter president and vice president. Jaypee earned his Bachelor of Landscape Architecture from the University of Oregon in 1983 and his Master of Landscape Architecture from the Harvard University Graduate School of Design in 1986. Gary Sorge was nominated by the Connecticut chapter for 23 years of being the man behind the curtain, whose vast talents and vision allow him to bring together the various players and pieces of a complex puzzle to create spaces that communities can enjoy for generations. His work graces some of the most well-visited public spaces in the world. He's often helped clients and organizations develop design guides to let them continue their projects in the spirit of the original initiative. He's volunteered for numerous community efforts, from trail reconstruction projects with the Boy Scouts to river cleanup days. Gary earned his Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture from Rutgers University in 1986. Richard Sutton was nominated by the Great Plains chapter for enlightening an entire generation to the beauty, history, and ecology of the Nebraska landscape. He's contributed a high level of knowledge, creation, and application for more than 30 years at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Recently, he spearheaded the startup of the university's Bachelor of Landscape Architecture degree program. He's authored or co-authored more than 36 research publications, popular articles, and books on a wide variety of topics pertinent to the Great Plains landscape. Richard earned his Bachelor of Science in Forest Biology from Colorado State University in 1970, his Master of Landscape Architecture from Utah State University in 1974, and his Ph.D. in Land Resource from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1997. Cleveland Turner was nominated by the Texas chapter for giving unselfishly to the betterment of the Texas chapter ASLA for more than 25 years. He's been dedicated to the licensure of landscape architects in Texas and at the national level. In Texas, he was the torchbearer for defending against the sunsetting of title use, and further he used that opportunity to elevate the law to cover the practice of landscape architecture. Additionally, both the Texas Board of Architectural Examiners and the Council of Landscape Architectural Registration Boards have benefited from his initiative, his creativity, and management skills. Cleveland earned his Bachelor of Arts in 1973 and his Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture in 1976, both from Texas A&M University. Susan Van Atta was nominated by the Southern California chapter for the impressive body of work she's created with her 2 decades of commitment to environmentally appropriate landscape design, habitat restoration, and the use of native plants. Susan's award-winning designs pay careful attention to form and detail, but her work transcends mere aesthetic improvements. Instead, she strives to make places better by regenerating the land, engaging the public in site understanding and stewardship, and promoting health for both people and the environment. Susan earned her Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Studies in 1977 from the University of California, Santa Barbara, and her Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture in 1983 from California Polytechnic State University, San Luis Obispo. Keith Wagner was nominated by the Vermont chapter for his award-winning projects that identify the unique character of a site or place and crystallize it through a process of deduction and accentuation. Landscape architect, painter, and sculptor, he draws inspiration from the agrarian landscapes of his childhood and has influenced the profession in the Northeast through his practice in both the private and public realm. A member of ASLA since 1995, Keith also lectures, juries, and mentors students at Harvard University, University of Vermont, SUNY ESF, and Rhode Island School of Design. He's the current William Kennedy Visiting Scholar at the SUNY ESF School of Landscape Architecture. Keith earned his Bachelor of Landscape Architecture from SUNY ESF, Syracuse, in 1985. Todd Wichman was nominated by the Minnesota chapter for his exceptional and sustained service to the profession at the local, state, and national levels. From the outset of his career, he's advocated tirelessly for a range of issues that affect landscape architects. Widely recognized for his outstanding leadership and commitment on the civic level, he's further demonstrated his dedication through ongoing involvement with his Community Planning Council, the local watershed district, the state licensure board, and local schools. In the educational arena, he volunteers as both a critic and a mentor in the University of Minnesota's Landscape Architecture Department. Todd earned his Bachelor of Landscape Architecture from the University of Minnesota, Minneapolis in 1984. Kristian Zimmerman was nominated by the New York chapter for an extraordinary career focused on one project. He has devoted 19 years to revitalizing and restoring the 585 acres that comprise Prospect Park, the parade grounds, and Grand Army Plaza in Brooklyn, New York. He oversees the day-to-day operations of all capital work for this Olmsted and Vox masterpiece, one of the most intensely used urban landscapes in this country. He lives with the design, the people who use it, and those who maintain it through deep understanding of all aspects of the program. Kristian earned his Bachelor of Science in Horticulture from North Dakota State University in 1983 and his Bachelor of Landscape Architecture from the University of Idaho in 1988.